Boom! What's going on, everyone? This is Steve Larson. Welcome back to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. I'm excited that you're here. Today, I'm going to teach you guys about how to give more leverage to those that you recruit. If you're like me, you know MLM is an amazing opportunity to grow a real asset for yourself. But you also see that there's huge issues starting to emerge. Like, why haven't big MLMs let tactics change in over 30 years? Or why have they been cutting commissions smaller and smaller? Or even, how dumb is it that old MLM rules say you'll get in trouble when you use the internet to grow your team? These are some of the blaring questions we all face today. This podcast will show you how real MLMers like us are waging war on the old dying methods. And we aren't cheating by only bugging uninterested family and friends. Follow this podcast while I expose the shocking methods I'm using to build my 10,000 person downline and get people begging to join my team daily. Here's to the new tactics without all those old, rusty MLM shackles. My name is Steve Larson, and welcome to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. What's up, guys? Hey, so I remember this very clear lesson for me. I was sitting down, and it was when I was working at ClickFunnels. I was sitting 2 feet from Russell, at my desk right there, and he was coaching a whole bunch of people. He was coaching all these individuals in his inner circle. He's coaching a lot of people in his programs. And I did everything I could to take notes. I was sitting next to a genius like that. And so every time he would say something that's prolific, I'd be working super hard, getting all this stuff done, but I also was like listening on his calls, because I was right there. And so what I would go do is I had this big board where I would just take notes on my computer and I would just type notes, when he would say stuff. I was like, this is crazy. It's kind of like a listening ear while I was, still doing my stuff. There was a thing that he taught me once, and it was very prolific. And some of you guys, you might be like, well, duh, Steven. But I don't think most people actually understand this. In fact, I was talking last night, my wife and I were talking about the interesting scenario of this. We're in a place right now where personally, I'm working a lot, but the revenue has been the exact same for 8 months. What does that tell you, right? I was speaking at an event last week, and I had everyone, I said, everyone here knows you have to work hard, right? I was like, and everyone knows that in order to make a lot of money, you have to work hard, right? And I said, is that true? I said, everyone, who here in this room is working hard? And everyone rose their hand. They raised their hand up. And I said, now keep your hand up if you are a multimillionaire, filthy rich beyond your dreams. And all the hands went down. And I said, so that's interesting then. It's not about working hard. And that's, again, I noticed I opened 3 stories there. So last night, my wife and I were talking about that. And I was like, how fascinating is it that it's no longer about me working harder or more hours. It is not about that anymore. It is actually more about gaining leverage, right? And when I was sitting next to Russell, to go back to the first story, okay, that's the same thing that I had learned sitting next to him. What he said was, he said, Stephen, going from 6 to 7 figures is not about working more hours in the day. It's about leverage. It is about gaining leverage. I can't work more than, I'm not gonna lie, at the beginning of last year, especially the beginning of last year, I was working 12 to 15 hours a day, every day, okay? Every day. There wasn't a break. And it's so I could get my thing out the door, and just I killed myself over it for the first, especially 3 or 4 months. It was crazy. And then after that, I was able to back off once the thing was built, and I don't nearly do that at all anymore though. But the thing that has changed the most is leverage, okay? So you got to think about this, okay? In your MLM business, you got to understand that, what is it? And I've walked through this a little bit in the past, there's a few episodes ago, but think about this, what do you own in MLM? Nothing. Okay? You don't own anything, right? You don't own the product. You have no control over commissions. You have no control over your position even at any moment. And I'm not trying to scare anybody, but it's the reality of the thing, right? You in one we call it the Thanos snap, right? In one snap, your position could be gone, right? And again, not trying to freak anybody out, but that's the reality of MLM. You are a commission-based salesman who's trying to gain commissions on other salesmen that you brought in. That's basically it. That's what MLM is, right? So if I'm right here and I have all the stuff in my MLM, right? And again, I don't own any of those things in there. And if those of you guys are on, oops. Let me see if this marker looks a little better. Yeah, there we go. It's darker. For those of you guys who are on iTunes, I'm just going to draw something here. I draw a lot, and you're not going to miss anything out by me drawing it and you listening. But just telling you. So, anyways, in the middle here, right, we have this thing. We have MLM. Now, one of the easiest ways for me to gain leverage is by owning something. So how do you do that in an area where you don't own anything? Does that make sense? That's the purpose of this episode today. That's what I'm doing today with you guys. Okay, now you think about leverage, right? If I have this rock, right, this little epicenter right here, and I'm this guy over on the side, and I'm trying to move this mountain, right? I can definitely, and I'm like pulling down on this thing. I could definitely move a mountain over here, right? Can this guy over here move a mountain? Like, no. He really can't, right? But if the stick that I'm holding is massive, right? I actually could move a mountain. That doesn't look very good as I drew it. But you see what I'm saying? I actually could move a mountain with the correct amount of leverage. Leverage is what it's all about, right? Leverage means that while I'm sleeping, there are people on my team on the other side of the world that are getting stuff done. That's leverage. Right? Leverage means that I create these podcast episodes that never leave the internet, and we repurpose these to about 22 different platforms all across the internet. That never leaves the internet. Why do I do that? Leverage. Okay? You guys remember there's an episode a little while ago I did called The 3 Costs. Okay? There's 3 types of costs in MLM, and that's the reason why I do these episodes, and I walked through that, okay, to teach you the 3 different kinds of costs, and be careful of the one you're willing to spend, right? The 3 different kinds of resources might be another way to say that, okay? But understand, like, I'm trying to gain leverage, and leverage as much as possible. Now, how do I do that when I don't own something, right? I'm still trying to move a mountain. I don't even own the stick, right? I don't own the thing here. I don't own the stick that I got to push to move the mountain in MLM. So how do I do that? And so one of the ways, and I'm going to go back to what I believe are the 3 things that you do control in MLM if you choose to. And this is one of the things that causes an individual in MLM to if they really want to be, if you don't want this to just be a hobby, you got to learn how to be a little bit of a marketer and a businessman or woman, okay? Like, does it make sense? This is not just like, well, I thought I'd just make a little extra money on it. Like, I beg you to not treat this like a hobby. You're not going to make any money. All right, there, I said it. I'll be the one to say it to you. If treat it like a business. If you want to be like a business, like we do it, right? There are things that I can control in any business. There's a few things I can't in MLM. That's okay. I still can control the rest of them. So the 3 core things that I have a lot of control over, right? Which is not necessarily taught out of the gate. And one of the reasons why this podcast I feel like has been so valuable for a lot of people is this. Number 1, I can control who I'm approaching, right? I can control who my dream customer is. So it's my dream customer. I'm gonna call him the dream who, we'll call him. Right? That means, right, I most likely am not gonna find my dream who in a mall. There, I said it also. All right, I am most likely not gonna find my dream who, my dream recruit. I'm not gonna go find them most likely, in a hotel lobby. Why are they in there? Okay, I want people who are busy. They're doing things in their lives. Okay. Number 2, the second thing I can control is how I approach them, meaning with my pitch and my script. Now, that might seem a little bit like, well, that seems really, really small. You have to understand, what I do is I create a recruiting offer, right? Right? This is the how that I actually approach them. I say, not only the how that I approach them, it's the how that I allow them into my downline. I allow them into my downline, okay? I don't make it so anyone can just join me willy-nilly, okay? And in the last 2 weeks, I had 50 people join my downline, right? Super fast. And what's cool about that is it's from this. It's nothing that my MLM gave me, right? Did you hear what I just said? There's a lot in my MLM that I don't understand a lot of the integrate. I'm not a scientist. I sell a supplement in our MLM. I don't understand honestly how it works. I know that it works, and I know that it is good for me, so I take it. Okay, that's it. Why? Because I know that me understanding the product, that's not the thing that's gonna cause cash. That's just me understanding the product. Okay, what's gonna cause cash is me creating leads, lots of leads. Okay, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna create leads with the dream who. Now, there's a lot of methods to doing that. okay, to finding my dream who. There's a lot of methods out there for me finding the how that I approach them with, right? To generate the leads and go chat with them. I need a lot of leads, okay? A business without leads dies. Any business, I don't care what you're selling. Doesn't matter if it's something physical and you're selling on Amazon. If Amazon didn't exist, they would still have to find a source for their leads. Amazon is the source for the leads, okay? You have got to understand that. Like, this is a business, and if you don't treat it like that, you're going to go approach your friends and family who are not interested, and then when they're gone, you won't have leads and your business will die. All right? Speeding forward. Cool? All right. All right. The third thing that I have control over. So I think of it like this in this flow. Because in any other normal business, I would have control over the product, but I don't. Okay? So this typically would be number 3, and what I'm about to show you would be number 4, but we don't. So number 3 is this. Number 3 is, oops. Marker's kind of dying. Number 3 is how I onboard people. Onboard / train. Okay, it is the relationship that I have with my people. Okay, it's the relationship I have with those that I've recruited. Now, what's interesting about that is it means I can control the information they get. I can set precedents on how they behave in my downline. I can set precedents on the systems and the tools. That I go and does that make sense? So what I want to teach you guys, and the point of this is leverage, right? So there are ways I can gain more leverage to get more leads. There are ways I can gain more leverage to make my recruiting offer sexier than everybody else's, so people join me instead of everyone else. Okay, there are ways that I can create leverage and go grab a whole bunch of power for those I've recruited. Okay, so with that premise, that's what I'm going to teach you guys just real fast here, and I'm not going to go too much longer on this episode, but I just want you to understand, like, you got to ask yourself, like, how do I create leverage? Meaning, how does 1 + 1 = 3, right? How does 1 + 1 = 11? Right? That's what my high school self would say. I'm not in high school. All right. All right, so check this out. So that third one, right, was leverage through onboarding, right? It's my relationship. It's how I onboard individuals, how I train them after they're in. You got to understand that the purchase is not over when someone swipes their card. The purchase is over once somebody can justify their purchase in front of their relationships. That's when a purchase is over, okay? Because people are going to walk out and they're going to say things like, hey, why did you do that thing? And they're going to have to save face. Well, it was buy one, get one free. Or it was on sale. Or I don't know, I just kind of like it. Or whatever it is. They need to be able to save face and save status in front of their loved ones. Okay? So what I need to do is I need to arm those I recruit with the tools they need in order to succeed and be able to go in and have that conversation and justify their decision in front of their loved ones. Okay? So number 3, right? This is that onboarding thing. So what we did recently, and you guys can all go check this out, and we'll make sure it's the outro to this episode as well. If you guys go to hackmlm.com, hackmlm.com is a program I developed it's the training I give my downline, okay? And what it is it's actually the fulfillment of my recruiting offer. Okay, so you remember I had that recruiting offer? Why should you join me over somebody else? Well, because I'm going to give you X, Y, and Z, 1, 2, and 3. And they're like, wow, that causes desire. Then they come and they join me. The Hack MLM program is how I automated the training and the onboarding of those I recruit. Make sense? I'm getting a little bit deep into this, but I hope you guys understand this. But there's this very specific principle that I want to teach you guys. Right, it's leverage. I want to teach you how we just did it, and we did it yesterday, and it's already been a cool, positive thing. So, this one change that is, Hack MLM has been out for a bit, quite a while. By the time this episode goes out, anyway. So if I go and I look at this, like. So what we did is we had a whole bunch of training, right? And we said, hey, week 1, we're going to teach you how to set up your back office so that you can get paid, right? It's all the normal stuff that anyone would teach ever, but it's just broken into 7 days, and it's just dripped out to them with very simple tasks. Today, do this. Today, do that. Today, do this, okay? Week number 2, we talk a lot about the bonuses that they probably didn't know they're available to them. Did you know if you do this within the first this many days, you get this, does that make sense? And we teach them about the bonuses that are in there. Okay, number 3, though, we start teaching and talking to them about how to auto-recruit. And we give them pre-built funnels, the same one that I use to recruit my people with, okay? So we talk about auto-recruiting. Okay, week 4, we talk about traffic and evergreen styles of traffic to fuel that. So now they have an automated system for leads, which is exactly what I've been doing for the last year and a half now. Okay. And anyway, we just crossed 1,100 applications, which is crazy. Anyway, for my personal downline, you understand that? That's a huge, like my personal downline, let alone those who I bring in and then I hook the same system into theirs. It's crazy. Okay. So what we did is we have a few, this is a free program, right? Seriously, this is it. You go to hackmlm.com right now. That's what it is. What we wanted to do though is we wanted to gain more leverage for those who join our downline and they want their team members to get trained through this also, right? I want to do the heavy lifting on it. And that's why I created it. I'm doing the heavy lifting in all of my downline by them just sending them back to this program. Okay. But if it's a free program, So here's what we did. We went and we decided, and it's been awesome. This is what I'm going to teach you. Anyways, this is the whole point of it. What we did is we have, some of you guys might know, I'm a funnel builder. I'm a marketer, right? So what we have is we have additional training on publishing. Frankly, just to be honest with you guys, if you just publish and send people to a recruiting funnel, you're going to recruit more people than 99% of those who are above you. Okay, it's crazy. So anyways, we have a lot on publishing and easy ways to pull it off, like I'm doing right now, right? Which is a lot of leverage. It's a lot of leverage in the MLM space right now. Not many people publish, so it's really easy to be loud. Okay. Number two, the other thing that we are doing is we have it's actually I could say this on an episode, I think, because he's cool with that. We have the guy who blew up Taylor Swift. It was actually Taylor Swift's first agent. And he came in and he filmed a course specifically for my team, which is crazy. Hey, here's what I did on social media. Here's how it works. Here's how you can pull it off as well. Do 1, 2, and 3. It's a checklist. That's like, here it is. Do this, do that, do this, do that. And that's how he blew up and exploded Taylor Swift as her first agent, which is crazy. His name's Rick Barker. He's a beast. Anyway, we have that training as well from, I'll just put RB, Rick Barker with T Swift, which is pretty awesome. It's pretty rare, right? By now, I've gained quite the Rolodex with this stuff, guys, which is cool. Which is the other leverage that I offer for people to join my team. Hey, we get this specific training. Like, and there's a bunch of this right in here also. One of the best Instagram people on the planet, he's come in. One of the best chatbot people on the planet, he's come in and he's taught a portion of it. One of the best. That makes sense. I brought in a lot of the who's who. What we did is we locked this. Okay? So they can still learn how to have a recruiting offer. They can still learn how to have a recruiting funnel. They can still learn how to go in and create that kind of leverage. And frankly, that right there, that's not being taught in general in MLM. Okay. So anyone for free can go in and check that out, but it's a recruiting tool for me. I turned it into a recruiting tool like this. What we did is we locked this. And only those who are in my downline get that because that's really sexy and frankly, I should be charging. Okay. I would charge $1,000 just for that. Anyway, it's super, super cool. So what we did is we locked it. So then those in my downline are the only ones who can give away the week 4 about traffic and the additional things about how to make publishing easy and automated, and the really simple things about with Rick Barker and the Taylor Swift training. All that's locked. It's only for my downline. How to explode that stuff. Frankly, very secret little who's who closed door strategies that are very real. There are secrets. It's funny, when I was growing up, I was like, there's no secrets. Everyone's, especially on the internet, no, that's fine. Like, everyone's just teaching and sharing and it's awesome. No, that's not true at all. There are definitely secrets, okay? And this is, a lot of those secrets are right there. So what we did is we give a code to our downline, okay? This is how I created leverage for them, okay? They're going in and they're setting this stuff up. So now they have a recruiting funnel. They've got all this stuff and they got these cool things. But what I did is I gave them this cool code that's only known by those who are in our downline. And so when they join, they send their people through this training so that they learn about the bonuses and the back office and the recruiting funnel. And I'm teaching them how to create a recruiting offer and all that kind of stuff. And then we say, hey, when you're ready for it, here's the code and it will unlock, right? So it's very hush hush. It's super cool, okay? Now that's the other way we created leverage. Now, what did that just do? Okay, it raised the desirableness of my downline, right? For those who are, not just for me. That's the point. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Is like I figured out a way to go in and have it so that if you join my downline at all, I don't care how far down, like if you join, what's cool about it is now my downline, like it's even more tight knit, right? It's very inner circle feeling. It's very hush hush. It's very, anyways, it's super cool. I literally created we created the leverage like that. And that's what we just did. So anyways, I'm excited about it. I thought I'd just teach you that. And the whole point of this entire episode today is just to teach you, like, how can I gain leverage? Okay, is it by me learning how to get more leads automated? I don't care what MLM you're in. Okay, I'm trying to change the industry as a whole and teach everyone, like, hey, there's like way better ways to do this than just walking around talking to aimless people. Like, that's dumb in my opinion. Okay, but figure out how to create leverage, right? Am I creating leverage in my business by automating my leads? So I've done that one. Am I creating leverage in my business by having additional bonuses people get when they join my downline? And in fact, they're gonna apply. That puts leverage like crazy back in my pocket. That's insane. The huge leverage of the Hack MLM onboarding program. And then again, oh my gosh, with this whole thing where only those on my downline know the code, that's massive, right? And if it ever starts to like get out and I'm like, then we'll just change it, okay? Right, it truly is like anyway, so super cool. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode today and you understand the point of this. You treat this like a business, not like a hobby. You're not gonna make any money if you do that, okay? So go in, I'm saying real cash, like sustainable cash we could live off of. Anyway, hopefully you guys, this makes sense to you guys. If you wanna check it out, you can. Just go to hackmlm.com and check it out. A lot of this is built in ClickFunnels, which is totally cool. And if you're like, I don't want to pay for ClickFunnels, like, then be prepared to hire a tech team, okay? ClickFunnels is super cheap for what it does. It's pretty amazing. You can get a free trial though. Go to freecftrial.com and you can see, anyways, freecftrial.com is where you can grab a free trial for this. I would do that as you're doing this so that you can actually get the actual funnel that I use to recruit everybody, okay? You can get the actual stuff does that make sense? So if you got a free 2-week trial, then go in and start doing this and boom, it's all right there. So, all right, my friends, hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. If you could, please go and review this. It's so funny. There's a few like old school people who watch this show, who watch Secret Unlocks Radio, and they'll give me like a 3 or 4 star review or something, like, or even like a 1. I don't know that this could ever work. Well, it is working, and we are doing it, and there's tons of people that are joining us, and it's been awesome. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and please go rate and review it if you could. Bye. Boom! Hey, hopefully you liked the episode. Please remember to rate and subscribe. Hey, like you, I love MLM. It is a long-term asset that can pay anyone for life as long as they build it right. If you've recruited anyone ever, you know that the recruit's first 30 days are some of the most crucial. It sets their pace. So to create the right tone for my new recruit's career, I created a 30-day onboarding training that walks my new recruits through things like how to set up their back office, how to get bonuses, how to set up my team's recruiting funnels, right? How to get internet traffic, how to close leads. Here's why I'm telling you this. If you want to be a fly on the wall and see how I train my new people, you are more than welcome. My team's program is called Hack MLM, and you can check out most of it for free by going to hackmlm.com. Fair warning, the course is meant for my own team though, so if you come in and you want to check it out, you are going to get pitched to join my team, okay? We are marketers. This is one of the only times I'm going to get forward about my own MLM. Side note, it's mostly because my Facebook Messenger is littered with people asking what MLM I'm in, so I will bite a little here, okay? So let me be clear, I don't want anyone thinking this is now a pitch fest. If you don't want to be pitched, that's fine. Okay, that's okay, just don't check it out and keep enjoying the podcast. But if you want to see how I'm onboarding my people and I'm training my new recruits and walking them through their first 30 days and setting that pace and tone, literally just go to hackmlm.com.